Hi, today I have a little bit of a haul for you from Cowgirl Dirt Cosmetics, and I got all these little samples. I thought I got 2 samples of concealer and 2 samples of foundation, but it turns out that I got 3 samples of foundation and 1 sample of concealer, so I must have done something wrong when I ordered and put the wrong things in the cart, but that's fine. I just wanted to try the concealer and the foundation, and I got both, so that's all that matters. And I have both of these products right now on my face. I do have blush on, but other than that, I didn't set it, with any powder or anything, so you can see, the natural finish that it has and what it looks like. And now I'm going to insert the video of me applying it so you can actually see the, how it applies and the difference that it makes before and after. So I'm going to start with the Warm Light Concealer, and I'm going to use that to conceal my under eye area. So I can tell you that this concealer, it's pretty soft and creamy, but at the same time, maybe because of that, it almost like spreads too easily, if you know what I mean, and because of that, I'm having a hard time building up coverage, and so I don't really feel that this necessarily has the best coverage. Now I'm going to apply the cream foundation in Warm 3. And again, very soft texture compared to something like the All Natural Face. It blends out easily. I'm not really getting the best coverage out of this, because I feel like to properly blend it out, you are almost kind of like blending away the coverage once you blend it into your skin, so it's not like a thick layer. It also takes away from the coverage. And it's a little bit, I don't want to call it greasy, but I'm a little bit nervous how my skin is going to do, because my skin tends to not really like products that are too much oil in them, and so I'm not really sure. Well, I guess we'll see how this works out. I can always, go back to it maybe in the winter months as well, because it is really hot and humid here. It might be a little bit too much for a foundation like this, because it really is kind of a little oily. Okay, so I have this now all over my face, and so you can see what it looks like. It did even out my skin tone. It gave me some coverage, but not too much. So I'm going to go put on a little bit of blush. I'm not going to set this with powder or anything like that, so they can see what it looks like on its own. I'm going to put something on my lips. I already have my eye makeup on, and then I'll come back and I'll talk some more about this foundation and concealer with you. Okay, so I just added some blush, and this is Lewis from Silk Naturals on my lips. So now I'm going to show you swatches of this foundation, and then I'll go ahead and talk about my first impression of it. So that skinny little line all the way on the right is the concealer. That's a Warm Light Concealer. And then right next to it, so the second one from the right that you're seeing there is the Warm 3 foundation. Then it's the Neutral 2 foundation, and then it's the Neutral 3 foundation. So let me show you them up close. You have Neutral 3, Neutral 2, Warm 3, and Warm Light concealer. So let's talk about the colors first. Warm 3 is definitely a better match for me. And the neutral ones, they're almost like a little bit too neutral. It looks like if I were to apply them all over, they're the kind of shade that just like would like suck the color out of my face. I do need a little bit of that warmth. So Warm 3, which is what I'm wearing now, seems to be, you know, pretty good match color-wise. And then the Warm Light concealer is what I have under my eyes, and that seems to be, you know, a good match for the concealer. And the shades are somewhat forgiving because they're not too pigmented, they're a little bit sheer, and so your natural skin color is going to show through. So because of that, you can probably get away with, you know, several colors versus, you know, just having like one perfect color that you need to get it just right for it to look good on you. So another thing about the samples is, as you saw when I showed them to you in the open container, you get a pretty generous amount of product. I mean, these little clam, you know, pod containers, they're small to begin with, but they're filled pretty full. And let's see which one I used here, the Warm 3. I still have quite a bit of product left, and I would definitely be able to use this several more times. I don't know how many more times, maybe like 5 more times. There's a lot of product considering, you know, how much you use. And I feel like I used a decent amount because I was trying to build up coverage on certain areas. The concealer, you do get less of the product in the concealer. You just get a little bit, but this is meant to be used underneath your eyes mostly. And so, you know, this will still last you kind of a long time unless you try to put it all over your face or something. So really generous samples, and they're really cheap. They're only 99 cents considering, you know, what a decent amount of product you're getting here, and their shipping is really reasonable. I think it was like $2 or $3 for me. So, you know, pretty great experience in terms of that. I also received these super quick in the mail, and they came all the way from Montana. So I'm in North Carolina, so really quick. Now, in terms of what I actually think about the foundation, just my first impression, because I haven't worn this, you know, for a full day. I just put it on, you know, in front of you guys, so I don't know how this is gonna last. I have a feeling that I'm really going to need to set this with powder because this product is really creamy and it's a little bit oily. For me, and I do have dry skin, so on the one hand that's nice because I feel like it's, you know, kind of moisturizing. It feels good on dry skin. It's, you know, goes on nice and smooth and even because of that. But on the other hand, I am acne prone. I'm a little bit nervous how my skin is gonna do with such a creamy slash a little bit oily product. I'm not sure how it's gonna last on me. My skin's not too dry right now. In the summer, it's really hot and humid out. I really think it would work best if I were to set this with a powder. But I do really like the finish of this. It's like a really natural finish. It's not, you know, super matte because it's so creamy. And because it's a little bit sheer, your skin shows through. So it just looks like natural skin, I think, you know, just kind of looking in the camera here, looking at this product. In terms of coverage, that is where I'm a little bit disappointed with this product. If you like more, you know, natural looking coverage, more of a sheer product, then you will probably like this, and I will probably be okay with it once I set it with a powder, maybe like a medium coverage kind of powder. And, you know, the coverage of this plus the coverage the powder adds to it, I think I will be okay with that coverage wise. So that's fine, you know, for me. I would have liked if this was a little bit more buildable. Because it's creamy and soft, I feel like I can't really build it. It just kind of like slides around on my face, and I need to like blend it out. And then if I try to put more on, you know, I really need to blend it out, and I ultimately get the same coverage no matter how much product I put on, because for there not to be like a glob of product, you have to blend it out, and then it can only really be like a certain amount of thinness on your skin. Like the layer of this foundation needs to be thin, and so, you know, unfortunately it doesn't really build up too well. And same with the concealer. They're actually really similar. I looked up the ingredients on their website, and the first whole bunch of ingredients are the same. The concealer does have a few things thrown in at the end there. It has something called Eye Bright, which I'm assuming is something, you know, good for your under eye area, maybe lightens dark circles. I have no idea. It's just by the name of it, I'm guessing. And so that's why I think that is a concealer that you're meant to use underneath your eyes, and versus like the concealer you use on blemishes or something. This foundation also has neem oil, which is good for acne prone skin. So maybe despite it being a little oily, maybe it'll still be okay and it won't cause me to break out, even though I'm very breakout prone, because neem oil, my skin tends to like neem oil. I've used a cleanser from Garden of Wisdom before that had tea tree and neem, and my skin really liked that in terms of it helping my acne. I do want to advise you that from what I understand, neem oil is not supposed to be used if you are pregnant, so just beware of that. Although I'm not sure how much is actually in here that you're really getting on your skin. I mean, it probably is not really going to make that much, you know, of a difference, but just something to watch out for, because you never know. Better safe than sorry, right? So overall, I am kind of neutral on this foundation in terms of my first impression. I don't love it, but I don't dislike it. I'm kind of right in the middle there. I think it's okay. I definitely need to wear it more, definitely need to try it with a powder. Just to compare it to another similar product, the All Natural Face Cream Foundation is another product that I have, and as of right now, from trying this only one time, I like that better just because I feel like the coverage of the All Natural Face is a little bit more buildable. It's not super creamy and soft. Like, this is a soft product. You touch it to your finger, like you saw it in the pots, it'll, you know, stick to your finger and it'll come right off. Like, you touch it to your finger, it comes right off. The All Natural Face Foundation slash concealer is something that you need to kind of rub and warm it up to get it to melt onto your finger. You might need to scrape a little out, melt it in between your fingers, and then apply, something like that. So it's more of a solid balm-like consistency. And I like that better. I feel like that makes it kind of stay better and not feel as melty on my face, you know? And I can build up the coverage better with that as well. And I like that it doesn't feel quite as oily on my skin. So just, you know, first impression, I like my All Natural Face Foundation a little bit better than this as of right now. But if you are looking for a foundation that's a little bit more moisturizing, maybe you tried the All Natural Face and you're like, I wish this had a little bit more oil in it. I wish it was a little bit softer. And easier to blend all over your face, like you didn't have to warm it up and melt it, you know, in your fingers, then you might like this, because that's exactly what this product is. And so that's pretty much it. I think, you know, I covered all that I wanted to tell you about this foundation, and hopefully this was helpful to you if you're interested in this company. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.